En-Mao's Raw review for the 12th of May 2015. Hi everyone and welcome to tonight's Raw review. So it's a week or so away from the Payback pay-per-view and so far we only know 2 matches. Tonight I'm hoping we find out some more. So Raw starts off with a limousine drive into the arena and we are welcomed to the show by Michael Cole, who informs us that Raw is from Cincinnati, Ohio tonight. The limo pulls up and out steps Triple H and he makes his way to the arena. So, is the Authority back tonight or what announcement are we going to have? We're also told that in 6 days is Payback, so tonight's Raw should be a decent build-up for the pay-per-view. Michael Cole, JBL and Booker T welcome us to Raw and then Triple H makes his way to the ring. It's the first time we've seen him in a month and last time we saw him was to announce Tough Enough to return. Triple H makes his way to the ring and we are told Daniel Bryan is at Raw tonight and he's going to address his health and the Intercontinental title. That will all be later on. First though, we need to hear what Triple H has to say. He starts off by saying Daddy's home. He says that to his children apparently, and when he says that, they behave better. I guess that's a reference to the way Kane and Seth Rollins have been acting for the past few weeks. He says that he left to run the company and they couldn't do what they were told to do. He goes on to say that he's not going to watch it unfold because of an unchecked ego and that tonight they are going to clear the air, and he tells Rollins and Kane to come to the ring now. Rollins is first out with his security and when he gets to the ring he's smiling and shaking hands with the boss and he gets a mic. He welcomes back Triple H and says that he agrees and is on the same page as Triple H. He then proceeds to kiss Triple H's ass and the crowd start chanting "We want Ambrose." He continues kissing ass, but then says Kane is a cancer who is trying to stop him from being the champion. He thinks Kane is making it his mission to get Rollins to lose the title, and then complains about the way the past 4 weeks have been handled. Complaining about the outvote for the triple threat match, and the way now that a fatal 4-way is on Sunday. He continues to complain about this, and the fact that Kane has assaulted him on numerous occasions. And he then says that he doesn't think Kane is fit to be the director of operations anymore. He says it's now a different Kane that's broken and cannot be fixed. Kane's music hits and he makes his way to the ring. He gets in the ring and he says that with age comes wisdom, and his many years of experience and expertise is telling him to grab Rollins' scrawny neck and choke slam him. Triple H stands between the pair and Rollins starts goading Kane, who starts arguing back. Triple H shouts enough. He tells Kane that he respects him, but he needs to get on the same page as everyone else. He says that he understands how Kane feels and how he wants to ball up his fist and punch Seth right in the face, but you can't do that because it's what's best for business. He then tells Kane that if Rollins doesn't walk out of Payback the WWE champion, then Kane's services as the director of operations will no longer be needed. He's going to fire Kane? Kane says it's a shame that he feels that way, but it might be worth it just to eradicate Rollins. Rollins starts shouting insubordination at Kane and Triple H tells him to shut up. Triple H then turns back to Kane and says this can be done or they are going to have to amicably part ways. Kane just stares at Triple H and says that he can see by Kane's silence that this is not what he wants. He asks again if they're on the same page and he says that all 4 participants in the Fatal 4-Way will wrestle tonight. And we will find out how invested into the cause Kane is tonight when he takes on Roman Reigns. He turns to Seth Rollins and says that he will face Randy Orton, and Rollins is not happy about this. Jamie Noble then goes up into Triple H's face and starts saying that Triple H is wrong to put Seth in the main event. Triple H looks at him and Joey Mercury and then puts them in a match against Dean Ambrose, and that's next. He tells Kane and Rollins to follow him, leaving J&J Security to take on Ambrose. The Lunatic Fringe comes down to a massive roar in front of his home crowd and heads to the ring. The match starts with Joey Mercury taking on Ambrose, who pulls him over the top rope and into the match. Ambrose then gets him in a corner and stomps hell into him. He goes back and hits punches, a headbutt and a scoop slam, and Joey looks beat. He staggers into more right hands from Ambrose and then is clotheslined over the top rope. Ambrose then pulls Jamie Noble into the ring by his ears over the top rope, and Jamie's on his knees begging Ambrose. Ambrose offers his hand and Noble accepts, but Ambrose tries for the Dirty Deeds DDT. Noble escapes from the ring. Ambrose follows and then walks into a shoulder block by Mercury, and then they double team him outside the ring. They send him back to the ring, but Ambrose reverses it into a double clothesline onto the announce table. He throws Mercury back in the ring and then heads to the top rope. Noble gets kicked off the ring apron, but Mercury grabs Ambrose and pulls him down. Mercury then takes control of the match, and now they both start beating on Ambrose, taking it in turns in the ring. They wear Ambrose down with drop kicks, headlocks and punches until Ambrose rallies back and hits Joey Mercury with a shoulder block. Both men go down though, as they appear to have headbutted each other. Mercury manages to tag Noble, and Ambrose jumps to his feet and starts punching and chopping Noble. He tries to hit a running bulldog on Noble, but he escapes from the ring again. Ambrose suicide dives onto the pair through the ropes, and he grabs Noble and throws him back in the ring and then goes for the top turnbuckle again. A flying elbow gets a 2 count as Mercury makes a save, and they double team him until Ambrose does the fall between the ropes rebound thing and then hits a double clothesline. He throws Noble into Mercury and then hits a Dirty Deeds DDT on a staggered Noble and gets a 3 count and the victory over the Stooges. Will he be able to get the win on Sunday though and become the WWE Champion? Sheamus makes his way to the ringside next to join the commentary team for the match against Dolph Ziggler versus Wade Barrett. Dolph is first to make his way to the ring, and while he does, we are told of another match that's added to the pay-per-view. It's Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler in a one-on-one match. That's Sunday though. Now he has to overcome King Barrett. As Barrett makes his way to the ring, he says that he will be taking on Neville at Payback, and this pay-per-view is turning into the Extreme Rules without the Extreme Rules. He then mocks Ziggler and says that he's going to turn Ziggler into a royal arse kisser, and he turns round straight into a super kick from Ziggler. He only just manages to kick out at 2, and Ziggler then starts attacking Barrett. He takes an early control with punches, kicks and a drop kick, sending Barrett to the outside, and after the commercial, Barrett is back in control with Ziggler in a headlock in the centre of the ring. The usual restart after a break. Ziggler tries to fight back, but Barrett keeps him down with elbows to the back of the head, and Barrett picks up Ziggler and stands showboating. Ziggler hits a Faymaster and he goes for the pin. Barrett kicks out at 2, and then Ziggler tries for a super kick, but Barrett reverses it into a wasteland slam. Ziggler slides off his shoulders before he can do the move and then gets hit by a Barrett super kick. Barrett stands in the corner and adjusts the elbow pad for a royal ball hammer, and he winds it up. He walks into a standing drop kick though instead. Ziggler goes for a roll up, but Barrett gets out at 2. Barrett then charges at Ziggler straight into the ring post, and Sheamus is now on the ring apron. Ziggler goes for him with a super kick and misses. He turns round and boom, a bull hammer to the face ends this one. Barrett covers and gets a win with a Sheamus assist. Barrett gets his royal regalia and walks up the ramp victorious, and Sheamus then gets into the ring with a beaten Ziggler and starts attacking him again. He tries to get the upper hand for Sunday, and he shouts at Ziggler he's not fit enough to clean his shoes. Ziggler retaliates with a flying forearm, but it's short-lived as a comeback because Sheamus hits a bro kick, and it's good night Ziggler. Sheamus then stands over him and shouts to everyone, are they not entertained? It's time for Luke Harper to walk to the ring with Erick Rowan, and we are shown highlights from Smackdown showing Erick Rowan attacking Fandango after his match with Luke Harper. You can see more about this on my Smackdown review from last week. The link will be in the description box and the annotation at the end of the video. Anyway, Erick Rowan is taking on Fandango tonight, and he removes the sheet mask and the bell rings with Fandango laying the punches in straight away. He goes to the top rope and flying elbows Erick Rowan, while the commentary team place bets on Erick Rowan winning in the shortest period of time. Rowan picks up Fandango and throws him across the ring, and then he rebounds into a roundhouse kick. Rowan then hits a full Nelson powerbomb and it's over in 35.8 seconds. Luke Harper gets into the ring and whips Rowan into Fandango in the corner, and then he in turn whips Fandango into a discus clothesline and nearly takes his head off. So, as I said the other day, it looks like the Wyatt family is reuniting, and they should never have been split in the first place. Rowan and Harper make their way up the ramp victorious. We are then told that next it's the John Cena Open Challenge for the US title. I wonder if Heath Slater will finally get his shot, although on Thursday Rusev said he was going to confront Cena and tell him how he will make him quit, so we will see what happens. Cena makes his way to the ring and we are told the rules about the I Quit match on Sunday. Cena then grabs a mic and says it sounds like there are some Cena fans in there tonight, unlike last week. Cena then addresses the title and cuts a promo about it again. He goes all patriotic and apparently wanted the US title because he felt that the wrong person held it. But over the past weeks, the title has changed from being a title no one cared about into being a title with meaning. And he says that people will go their entire career without a shot at the heavyweight championship, whereas he's giving people like that an opportunity to hold the gold. The thing is, this is okay while Cena is the champ, but will the next champion do the same with an open shot every week? Cena then goes on to talk about Rusev, and on Sunday how Cena says that he will never give up. Cena then says that he was advised tonight to cancel the open challenge as Rusev was going to confront him. Cena says he thinks that's a bad idea and asks the crowd if they want to see a match tonight. He then says the open challenge starts now and if you want some, come get some. Who will challenge him? Neville's music hits and the man who gravity forgot makes his way to the ring. The match starts and they lock up with Cena getting the edge. The ref breaks it up and they go into a lock up again, but Cena gets Neville in an arm lock. Neville then flips about the ring and reverses it into his arm lock. Neville then suplexes Cena into another hammerlock and Cena gets to the ropes and Neville is forced to release the hold. Cena then punches Neville in the face and whips him around the ring into a shoulder block and then gets Neville into a headlock. This match is so slow starting that it feels like there is no pace to it at all. Neville reverses Cena into a headlock and he gets thrown at the ropes and comes back with a spinning heel kick to foul Cena. Cena rolls out of the ring and starts circling it as Raw goes to a break. The match returns with Neville in control, whooping Cena across the ring, and then Neville follows, but Cena has moved. Neville goes for a clothesline and misses. Cena hits 2 shoulder tackles and goes for a sidewalk slam, but Neville reverses it into a suplex and gets a 2 count. Cena once again rolls out of the ring, but Neville follows up with a baseball slide under the bottom rope onto Cena. Cena staggers back and Neville hits a corkscrew moonsault off the top rope onto Cena, and that looked awesome. Neville throws Cena back into the ring and gets a 2 count, and then Cena gets up and plants Neville with a sidewalk slam. He goes for the 5-knuckle shuffle and he sets Neville up for the attitude adjustment, and Neville grabs the ropes to block the move. Cena runs at Neville but gets a big boot to the face for knocking him down. Neville sees his opportunity for the red arrow and goes to the top rope. He hits the move, but where it has beaten the likes of Sheamus, Wade Barrett, Curtis Axel and nearly beat the WWE champion Seth Rollins, Super Cena is able to kick out of it no problems at all. Neville gets up and Cena starts punching him, and Neville manages to kick Cena in the stomach, knocking him down. He follows up with several more kicks as he runs at the rope and jumps at Cena, who then catches him and then hits a Michinoku driver onto the rookie. Neville kicks out at 2. Cena gets Neville up for another attitude adjustment, but Neville reverses it into a backslide and Cena kicks out at 2. Cena then whips Neville into a corner, but he leaps over him and then Neville handsprings to the other side of the ring. Cena runs after him into an elbow and he goes for the second rope and it's a cross-body block on Cena. He rolls through and picks Neville up and puts him onto his shoulders and hits an attitude adjustment in the centre of the ring. Neville lands on his feet though and hits Cena with a kick to the head and he gets another 2 count. Neville pulls Cena to the corner, but Cena then reverses it into an STFU. Neville refuses to tap and manages to roll Cena into a 2 count and breaks the hold. Cena hits a massive clothesline that spins Neville in midair, and I've never seen one with so much force. Both men get up and Cena runs at Neville, who moves and then hits an enziguri on Cena. Super Cena doesn't feel it and hits an AA on Neville, but he once again kicks out at 2. The crowd chant "This is awesome" and both men get up. Cena gets to the second rope and tries to hit an AA from there, but Neville reverses it into a sunset flip and he gets a powerbomb and hits another 2 count. Neville pushes Cena to the corner and hits the red arrow. That surely would have won him the title if Rusev, the giant Russian, didn't walk into the ring and start attacking John Cena. Cena wins via disqualification, but Rusev isn't finished with Cena. He stalks him and then hits him with a super kick, and then he stamps on Cena's back and locks in the accolade. Cena is out in the middle of the ring and Rusev gets the title belt and the explosion happens and the Russian flag flies behind him while he holds the US title aloft. Kane then heads to the ring for his match against Roman Reigns tonight, a match that was created by Triple H at the start of Raw. Roman Reigns makes his way through the crowd to the ring and he doesn't quite make it though, because as soon as he gets over the barrier he's met by Kane's fists. Kane rams him into the barrier and continues with the punches and uppercuts. Kane is like a man possessed and he rams Roman into the ring post and continues with the uppercuts. Reigns looked like he doesn't know what's going on and pretty much like he was at WrestleMania. Kane starts ramming Reigns into the steel steps and then throws him into the ring. Kane gets up onto the ring apron and Roman hits an uppercut on Kane, knocking him off. He then starts taking the fight to Kane outside the ring, and the bell hasn't even rang yet to start the match. Kane gets the upper hand again, ramming Roman into everything that he sees, and he gets a big boot on Reigns. He then takes apart the announce table and he goes back for Reigns, and he reverses and takes control with the punches. Roman goes for the Superman punch, but Kane grabs him by the throat. Reigns kicks him and he lets go, and then he hits the Superman punch and follows up with a spear onto the announce table. Kane has stopped moving and Reigns stands on the announce table and his music starts. I guess he wouldn't even know the bell didn't ring, but oh well, let's see what happens on Sunday. Raw returns and we are shown what happened last week when Naomi and Tamina Snuka beat up Nikki Bella before a match on Raw. Brie heads to the ring accompanied by Nikki Bella, ready for singles competition against Tamina accompanied by Naomi. They lock up and Brie lays the punches in Tamina till she gets kicked, and then Tamina takes over. She drops Brie onto a backbreaker knee and then follows up with an axe handle to the spine and an Irish whip to the corner so hard that Brie collapses. Tamina gets Brie in a face lock and she fights out of it and gets accidentally hit in the face. Tamina once again starts attacking and she lays a few knees into Brie on the floor while she's completely dominating. Naomi smiles as she watches on outside the ring. Brie starts a comeback but gets stopped with a clothesline and Brie kicks out at 2. She starts another comeback with a clothesline and a drop kick and a missile drop kick off the second rope and then goes for the cover, but she only gets a 2 count. She then hits the poorest drop toe hold I have ever seen and then shouts Brie mode. She hits a running knee to Tamina's jaw and then she does it again, but this time Tamina blocks it. She hits Brie with a super kick and Brie is flat out. Tamina gets a win and escapes up the ramp with Naomi as Nikki runs into the ring to help her sister. That's it for Divas action tonight though. It's time for Curtis Axel to take on Damien Sandow. We are shown highlights from Raw pre-show where Curtis Axel pretended to be Hulk Hogan and Damien Sandow acted like Macho Man Randy Savage and offered a match tonight. Anyway, Land of Hope and Glory starts playing and Damien Sandow, dressed like and acting like Macho Man, makes his way to the ring. It's Macho Mandow. He does the Macho Man intro and then points at Axel. He rips off his shirt like Hulk Hogan style and it's time for this match to start. Axel throws Sandow into the ropes after a few punches and Sandow holds on and floors Axel with a big boot. He scoop slams Axel and then goes to the top turnbuckle, and as he climbs the Ascension come out onto the stage. They mock the 2 delusional idiots in the ring and they say it's a desperate attempt to jumpstart their careers. This is coming from a guy who thinks he's part of Legion of Doom. Dressing like a legend doesn't make you a legend, says Connor, and he says that there's a difference between being laughed at and being laughed with. Victor says there's a new age in the WWE and this is the dawning of the age of total destruction. He then exclaims that we are the Ascension and welcome to the wasteland, and then they rush the ring attacking Sandow and Axel. Sandow sends Connor straight over the top rope and then scoop slams Victor. He tells Axel to get him and he hits a big Hulkamania leg drop. Sandow goes to the top turnbuckle and before he can hit a Macho Man elbow drop, Connor pulls Victor out of the ring. The Ascension walk up the ramp as Macho Man music starts out in the arena again and Sandow offers his hand to Axel. He shakes it and the Mega Powers are back in business. Not. And Raw goes to a break. Daniel Bryan's music hits and it's time for him to explain about what's wrong and the future of the Intercontinental title. He gets the yes, yes, yes cheers as he heads to the ring and then stands there ready to explain. He gets the mic and says the last couple of weeks he's been in and out of doctor's appointments and he's been having some downtime. He says this isn't good as he prefers to be into the action and the excitement and he needs to be where there is energy. He goes on to say that he needed to be stood behind the curtain waiting for his music to hit so he could come out to the reaction that he got. He then asks how long people have been treating him like he's something special. A few years? He then says why it's crushing for him that exactly 1 year ago was when he got stripped of the WWE title and he was gutted to lose that opportunity because it let the fans down. Daniel Bryan then says that Stephanie was right though to do it because he was injured and he didn't know how long he would be out for and he couldn't defend the title. He says the fans deserve a fighting champion, which is why he's there tonight. He says he had an MRI scan last week and that no one knows how long he's going to be out. It could be weeks, months, or he may not be able to wrestle again. But despite the uncertainty in his career, he knows what must happen with the Intercontinental Championship. He says the fans deserve people fighting for the title, so he is going to vacate it and relinquish it as of tonight. Fans chant "Thank you, Daniel," and it's pretty emotional for the guy. He then says thank you to the WWE Universe, lays the title in the ring and walks back up the ramp clearly upset. To "Thank you, Daniel" chants and a round of applause and cheers when he looks back to the ring. He points to the sky and chants "Yes, yes, yes" along with the crowd and then exits backstage. New Day make their way out now onto the stage saying that Daniel Bryan is gone, so don't embrace the negativity. Everyone needs to cheer and New Day rocks and embrace the positivity. The crowd chant "New Day sucks." Once again, Xavier Woods is holding the title belt that he didn't win, and I still don't get this gimmick. Kofi mocks the crowd and gives them a second chance to get the champ right, and they go on about how Tyson Kidd and Cesaro also need a second chance at Payback to win back the tag team titles. Then, in a 2 out of 3 falls match, everyone chants along "New Day sucks" again. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd along with Natalya make their way to the ring. Tonight, Cesaro is taking on Big E in singles competition. The match starts and Big E starts with knees and punches. He throws Cesaro across the ring and tries to jump over and whip Cesaro. He catches Big E in midair and power slams him into the canvas. He follows up with a stamp on his chest. Cesaro starts hitting Big E with the uppercuts and a big boot to the face of Big E. He then goes to the top rope and hits a cross body block but only gets a 2 count. He then stomps the New Day sucks rhythm into a fallen Big E in the corner. He showboats and then clotheslines Big E out of the ring and Raw goes to a commercial. When it comes back, Big E is taking punches in the centre of the ring and he whips Cesaro and gets him into an abdominal stretch. Cesaro fights back with a gut-wrench suplex and Big E is wobbly. Cesaro takes a momentum with left and right and then Big E then plants Cesaro with a belly-to-belly suplex. He follows up with a splash, but Cesaro moves out of the way and Cesaro runs at Big E then, who hits a kind of rock bottom move on Cesaro. Big E covers and gets a 2 count. Big E then starts charging around the ring like a train and he hits his shoulder block and flying clothesline on Cesaro and then goes to grab Cesaro, but he manages to get uppercutted again. Cesaro dodges a clothesline attempt and then jumps off the second rope into a spinning uppercut. He follows this up with 2 German suplexes and a belly-to-belly suplex, and then Cesaro starts whipping Big E into a corner and following with the uppercut. He does this 3 times and then sets up for a King of Swing by hitting a spine buster on Big E. Kofi gets on the ring apron though, shouting at Cesaro and the ref. Tyson Kidd goes and grabs him off the apron and Xavier joins in the fight and it's enough to distract Cesaro, but he turns around just in time to block Big E and then gets him in the weirdest pinhold I've ever seen and gets a 3 count and the victory. Going into Extreme Rules, Payback. We are then told by Michael Cole that a second pay-per-view has been added to the end of May and it's the Elimination Chamber which is being brought back on the WWE Network. What an announcement, and that's on Sunday, May the 31st. I will try and do a review for this also, but it looks like I'm going to be very busy over the next few weeks. Primetime Players are up next to cut their weekly promo without wrestling again, and this week they're poking fun at the New Age Outlaws. Personally, I don't find this at all funny, and I don't get why they never wrestle. They nearly got fired before, and here's hoping this time, as neither of them could cut it in singles competition, and well, they ain't wrestling as a tag team, and if they do, I hope that they're in a good, decent storyline, as mocking a different team each week is very boring. Bray Wyatt heads to the ring as one of his long entrance walks, and he gets a mic and says he feels sorry for the WWE Universe. He wishes he could reach out and fix everything, and he wishes he could wake up from this nightmare, but he can't. I guess it's just seen Primetime Players promo as well. He then says fear is all around you and it has engulfed this world like a wildfire, and if you need proof it's not hard to find. All you need to do is open a paper or turn on the TV and you will see fear everywhere. He says several types of fear, but then says that there's still a few people who refuse to accept fear. If you work hard enough, you can overcome all of the odds. Ryback must be an inspiration to the WWE Universe. He then mocks Ryback's previous ankle injury and how he may never have been able to wrestle again, and it's debatable that he can anyway, but Bray continues. He then says Ryback didn't accept this fate. Ryback fought through his injury against all odds, and now here he is today doing what he loves. My hero, Bray mocks. He then says along came a spider and he's never seen or fought anything like Bray before. He's the new face of fear. He says Ryback is probably questioning himself, why me? And the answer is simple, says Bray. He was in his way. He then asks kids if they want to hear something that their parents will never tell them and says nightmares won't stop. and sometimes the bad guy just wins. He laughs, falls to his knees, arms outstretched, and then looks to the sky. Then "Feed Me More" rings out, and here comes Ryback for some revenge. Ryback marches to the ring and he gets attacked immediately as Brie. Ryback marches to the ring and gets attacked immediately by Brie as he gets in the ring. Brie runs at Ryback and gets a spine buster. He then hits Brie with a meat hook clothesline and Brie rolls out of the ring as Ryback chants "Feed Me More" in the ring. Brie sits on the ramp laughing, tasting blood coming from his mouth. It's now time for the main event and Randy Orton once again is taking on Seth Rollins, the last two of the four men from the Fatal 4-Way who are participating tonight. Randy Orton is the first to make his way into the ring and Rollins follows alone with no security. So this should be the first match with no interference and it's on a level playing field, 1 versus 1. The match starts and Rollins takes the advantage. Randy eventually reverses and gets Rollins into a headlock and Rollins reverses into a head scissors. He follows up with a boot and a shoulder block and when both men stand up, Randy gets up and hits a reverse elbow to regain control. He whips Rollins into the ropes and he stops and kicks Randy in the face. He then starts with the punches to Randy's face and body and Randy reverses and whips Rollins into the corner and hits an uppercut. Randy then sadistically starts stamping on his fallen foe. He then hits knee drops on Rollins' face and he misses and Rollins goes for the clothesline but he misses and Randy Orton hits a backbreaker. Rollins whips Randy's face into the turnbuckle and Rollins then hits a flying knee to the back of Orton and knocks him out of the ring. Raw goes to its final commercial of the night. When we return, Rollins has Orton in a headlock and is in control of the match. Randy fights back and headbutts Rollins and he whips Rollins at the ropes and Rollins takes him down with a flying forearm. He gets a 2 count and then starts talking to the ref about the slow count while Randy recovers. Rollins charges into Randy in the corner and he falls to the floor. Rollins starts then stalking his prey. Seth picks up Orton and whips him into a corner again, but Rollins runs at him and he gets launched over the top rope into the ring apron. He quickly climbs to the top rope, but Randy Orton knocks him down and turns the tables. Randy climbs to the top rope and gets Rollins into a superplex, and it's a long way down, but Randy delivers and Rollins lays down broken. Randy crawls over to him and they trade blows in the centre of the ring. They get to their feet and continue trading blows, and Rollins runs at the ropes, but Randy hits him with another clothesline and he whips Rollins again. He goes for an RKO, but Rollins holds onto the ropes, stopping it from happening. Randy gets kicked in the face and then Rollins goes to the top and he dives at Orton, who reverses it into a power slam and he covers for a 2 count. Randy picks him up for the second rope DDT again, but Rollins counters it with a slingshot. Rollins then hits an enziguri on the staggered Orton and he jumps up to the top rope and it's a flying knee to Randy Orton's face. He covers but only gets a 2 count once more. Rollins picks up Orton and goes for a short arm clothesline and Randy counters it into another backbreaker. Rollins rolls over onto his back and then gets a T-bone suplex instead. Randy then sets up Seth for the second rope DDT and this time Rollins escapes again and launches Randy out of the ring onto the ring apron and hits another enziguri. This knocks Randy to the outside and then Rollins suicide dives through the ropes, knocking Randy into the barrier. Both men are down outside the ring and Seth is first to his feet. He goes after Randy and the ref is counting. He throws Randy back into the ring and Seth charges at Orton in the corner. He misses as Orton sidesteps and Rollins staggers into an RKO, but Rollins reverses it into a roll-up pin before Randy pulled the trigger. He only gets a 2 count and Rollins then hits a super kick on Randy Orton as he's getting up. Rollins once again gets a 2 count and you can see the frustration in his eyes. Rollins starts mocking the way Randy sets up for an RKO and then Rollins picks up Orton into a pile driver position, but Randy reverses it then into a back body drop. Seth lands on his feet though and Rollins runs up the ropes and comes back into a second rope DDT for the 3rd time. This one connects and now Randy taunts for the RKO. Rollins gets to his feet and just as he's about to hit the RKO, J&J security hit the ring and attack Randy Orton. The ref rings a bell and Randy Orton wins via disqualification. J&J security continue the attack while Rollins looks on. Randy eventually starts to mount a fight back and this is till Rollins hits him with a massive clothesline. He then attacks Randy on the mat and helps J&J security to their feet. Kane's music starts playing and Kane makes his way to the ring. Rollins hides behind Mercury and Noble and Kane walks past the ring and gets a steel chair. Rollins and security start stamping on Randy Orton, and it's 3-on-1 as Kane looks on. Dean Ambrose runs to the ring to help Orton, and he goes straight for Rollins. Roman Reigns charges in, and he goes for Joey Mercury, and they clear the house, and now they stare at Rollins, who looks worried. It's the 4 men that are the competitors on Sunday that are left in the ring. Ambrose hits a Dirty Deeds DDT on the champ, and they then turn their attention to Kane, who is still standing there with a chair. Ambrose picks up Rollins just in time for Reigns to spear the champion, and Kane still looks on. Reigns and Ambrose pick up Rollins, and they push him into Randy Orton, who then hits an RKO on the champion, and Kane still watches on. Reigns then hits Orton with a spear, and as he's showboating, Ambrose turns Reigns around and hits him with a Dirty Deeds DDT. Ambrose once again stands tall at the end of Raw like last week. Also, is this an omen for Sunday? And with that, Raw goes off the air. So, thanks for watching this week's Raw review. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you on Saturday with my Smackdown review, and then Monday with the pay-per-view review. Oh, before I go, I've got a quick weekly question for everyone who's made it this far in the video. Who would you like to see as the next Intercontinental Champion? Put your answers in the comments, and I'll see you at the end of the week. Thanks for watching, take care, until next time, bye for now. So, I hope you all enjoyed this week's Raw review. If you did, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. Please leave a comment about wrestling in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel for more wrestling videos and gameplay videos. Click the screen in the centre for more wrestling reviews. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope to see you on the next video, and until then, bye for now.